Have you ever noticed how difficult it can be for children to stay calm and focused today? They are surrounded by phones, television, games, notifications, social media, fast entertainment, and constant distractions. Even adults have trouble sitting quietly for a few minutes without checking their phones. So how can we help children develop patience, focus, self-control, and calmness? Today we are going to explore several practices commonly associated with Japanese parenting and education that can teach children important habits, such as responsibility, patience, respect, mindfulness, and concentration. Of course, every Japanese family is different. There is no single Japanese way of raising children. But there are cultural practices and educational ideas that can give us useful lessons. And the most important lesson is this: children do not suddenly become calm and focused when they grow older. These abilities are developed through small habits practiced again and again. The first lesson is learning to wait. In a world where children can get almost anything immediately, waiting has become difficult. A child wants a video. They get it. They want a game. They get it. They want food. They get it. They become bored. They immediately look for entertainment. But patience is a skill. And like any skill, it needs practice. One useful lesson we can learn from Japanese culture is the value of patience and orderly behavior in shared situations. Children often learn that they need to wait their turn. They learn that other people have needs too. They learn that they cannot always be first. This may sound simple, but learning to wait teaches something very important. You do not have to act on every feeling immediately. If you are bored, you do not have to grab your phone. If you are angry, you do not have to shout. If you want something, you do not always have to get it immediately. You can wait, you can breathe, you can think, and then you can act. This is one of the foundations of self-control. The second lesson is giving children responsibility. One feature often associated with Japanese schools is that students participate in keeping their environment clean. Students may help clean classrooms and shared spaces. The lesson is bigger than cleaning. Children learn that they are responsible for the environment they share with other people. They learn, this is our classroom. We use it. Therefore, we should take care of it. This teaches responsibility through action rather than simply through words. Imagine telling a child, you need to be responsible. That sounds like a rule, but when you give the child a real responsibility, the lesson becomes practical. You can say, please put your books away. Please clean your desk. Please put your toys back. Please help prepare the table. These small tasks teach children that they are capable of contributing. And responsibility can also improve focus. Why? Because children learn to finish what they start. If you take something out, you put it away. If you make a mess, you help clean it. If you start a task, you try to complete it. This creates a habit of finishing. And finishing is an important part of concentration. The third lesson is simple routines. Children often feel calmer when they know what comes next. A predictable routine can reduce unnecessary decisions. Wake up, get dressed, eat breakfast, go to school, come home, do homework, play, have dinner, prepare for tomorrow, go to bed. The exact routine can be different for every family. So the important thing is consistency. When children know what is expected, they do not need to negotiate every small activity. This can make daily life calmer. Adults can benefit from the same idea. If you wake up and immediately ask yourself, what should I do today? You may spend the first hour deciding. But if you already have a simple morning routine, you can start your day without unnecessary mental effort. Calmness often comes from structure. The fourth lesson is learning to focus on one thing. Modern life encourages multitasking. Children may eat while watching videos, do homework while checking messages, Listen to music while playing games. Switch between several activities. But constant switching can make it harder to develop deep concentration. A better approach is to create periods when one activity gets your full attention. If a child is eating, let them eat. If they are reading, let them read. If they are doing homework, give them a quiet space. If they are talking to you, listen to them. This does not mean children must sit perfectly still for hours. It means teaching them that attention can be directed. You can practice this for just 5 minutes. Read for 5 minutes. Draw for 5 minutes. Build something for 5 minutes. Listen carefully for 5 minutes. Then gradually increase the time. Focus is built slowly. The fifth lesson is learning calm behavior from adults. Children watch adults more than we realize. If a parent becomes angry every time something goes wrong, the child learns that reaction. If a parent constantly checks their phone, the child sees that behavior. If a parent cannot sit quietly, the child may learn that being still is uncomfortable. But if a parent responds calmly to a problem, the child sees another possibility. Something went wrong. Take a breath, think, then respond. This is powerful because children learn calmness through observation. You cannot simply tell a child, "Be calm," while you are shouting at them. The way adults behave becomes part of the child's education. So, if you want your child to develop self-control, begin by practicing your own. The sixth lesson is teaching respect for others. Respect is not only about saying polite words. It is also about understanding that other people exist around you. Other people need space. Other people need time. Other people have feelings. Other people deserve to be heard. When children learn to consider others, they begin to control some of their impulses. They learn that they cannot always do whatever they want whenever they want. This creates social awareness. And social awareness helps children become calmer in group situations. The seventh lesson is spending time doing ordinary things. Sometimes we think children need constant entertainment. We give them special activities, special toys, special games, special videos. But children can learn a lot from ordinary life. Cooking, walking, cleaning, reading, drawing, gardening, eating together, talking with family. These activities may look simple. They provide opportunities to practice patience and attention. Imagine cooking with a child. They need to wait. They need to follow steps. They need to pay attention. They need to handle small responsibilities. And finally, they see the result. This is learning through real life. The eighth lesson is not immediately solving every problem for children. When a child struggles with something, adults often want to help immediately. But sometimes the child needs the opportunity to try. Maybe they cannot tie their shoes. Maybe they cannot build something. Maybe they cannot solve a simple problem. Instead of immediately doing it for them, you can say, "Try again. What do you think you could do differently?" Let them think. Let them make mistakes. Let them experience small frustration. This does not mean ignoring a child who genuinely needs help. It means giving them reasonable opportunities to develop independence. A child who learns, "I can try again," develops a very valuable mindset. They do not give up immediately when something becomes difficult. And that mindset is connected to focus. The ninth lesson is creating quiet moments. Children do not need constant noise. A quiet moment can teach them that boredom is not an emergency. Sometimes it is good to simply sit, read, draw, look outside, take a walk, or do nothing for a few minutes. At first, children may say, "I'm bored," but boredom can sometimes create space for imagination. When there is no screen immediately available, the child may begin creating their own activity. They may draw, build something, imagine a story, play outside, or simply think. This is an important skill in a world full of constant stimulation. The 10th lesson is respecting nature and the environment. Spending time outside can naturally encourage children to slow down. Walking through a park, looking at trees, listening to birds, watching the weather, taking care of plants. These activities do not require constant entertainment. They encourage observation. A child can learn to notice small details, the color of a leaf, the sound of rain, the movement of clouds, the feeling of the wind. This type of attention is valuable, because focus begins with noticing. The 11th lesson is teaching children that mistakes are part of learning. A child who is afraid of mistakes may avoid difficult activities. But if mistakes are treated as part of learning, children become more willing to try. Imagine a child learning to write. The first letters may not look perfect, that is normal. The goal is not perfection. The goal is improvement. The same is true with learning English, learning mathematics, playing an instrument, playing sports, or developing any skill. You try, you make mistakes, you learn, you try again. This process develops patience. The 12th lesson is eating together without constant distraction. Family meals can create opportunities for conversation. Children can learn how to listen, how to wait, how to respond, how to share, how to communicate. You do not need a perfect family dinner every night. Even a few meals each week without phones can make a difference. The important thing is presence. When you sit with someone, be there, listen to them, look at them, talk to them. These simple habits can build stronger relationships and better communication. The 13th lesson is teaching children to finish small responsibilities before moving to the next activity. For example, finish putting away your toys before starting another game. Finish your homework before watching television. Finish cleaning your space before going outside. This teaches the brain a simple pattern. Start, focus, finish, move on. That pattern can become extremely useful later in life. Imagine an adult who has 20 unfinished tasks. They start one, then switch to another, then check their phone, then start something else. They feel busy but accomplish very little. A child who learns to focus on one small task and finish it is developing a valuable life skill. The 14th lesson is teaching children to control their reactions. Being calm does not mean never feeling angry. It means learning what to do with anger. A child can feel angry. A child can feel disappointed. A child can feel frustrated. These emotions are normal. The goal is not to remove emotions. The goal is to teach children that emotions do not have to control their behavior. You can teach a simple process. Stop, breathe, name the feeling. Think about what happened, then decide what to do. For example, I am angry because my friend took my toy. Instead of hitting, the child can learn to say, I am angry. Please give it back when you are finished. This is emotional control, and it takes practice. The 15th lesson is patience with progress. Children do not develop focus in 1 week. They do not become calm because of one conversation. These skills develop through repetition. The same is true for adults. If you want to become calmer, do not expect yourself to change overnight. Start with one small habit. Maybe you will spend 10 minutes without your phone every morning. Maybe you will take 3 deep breaths before responding when you are angry. Maybe you will focus on one task at a time. Maybe you will spend 15 minutes reading. Maybe you will take a quiet walk every evening. Small habits become stronger when repeated. And this brings us to the biggest lesson. Calmness is not something you simply have. It is something you practice. Focus is not something that appears automatically. It is something you train. Patience is not something that children either have or do not have. It is something that develops through experience. And self-control is not created by punishment alone. It grows through routines, responsibility, practice, good examples, and opportunities to make choices. So if you are a parent, do not focus only on telling your child to calm down. Show them what calm looks like. Give them small responsibilities. Create simple routines. Allow them to wait. Give them quiet time. Let them solve reasonable problems. Encourage them to finish what they start. Listen to them. And most importantly, be patient with the process. If you are not a parent, these lessons can still help you. You can train your own mind. Put your phone away. Sit quietly. Focus on one task. Take a walk. Read. Practice patience. Finish what you start. And learn to respond instead of immediately reacting. The world moves quickly. You do not have to allow the world to control your attention. You can choose where you put your attention. You can choose how you respond. You can choose to slow down. You can choose to listen. You can choose to be present. And these choices can change your life. Let us summarize the key lessons. First, teach patience through waiting and taking turns. Second, give children real responsibilities. Third, create predictable daily routines. Fourth, teach one task at a time. Fifth, model calm behavior as an adult. Sixth, teach respect for other people. Seventh, use ordinary activities as opportunities to learn. Eighth, allow children to solve reasonable problems themselves. Ninth, create quiet moments without constant entertainment. 10th, spend time in nature and practice observation. 11th, teach that mistakes are part of learning. 12th, create opportunities for family conversation. 13th, teach children to start, focus, finish, and then move on. 14th, teach children how to manage emotions. And 15th, be patient because real change takes time. The goal is not to create a child who never makes noise. The goal is not to create a child who never gets angry. The goal is not to create a child who sits quietly all day. The goal is to help children develop the ability to manage themselves, to focus when they need to focus, to rest when they need to rest, to listen when someone is speaking, to wait when waiting is necessary, to solve problems when problems appear, and to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting immediately. These are skills that can help them not only at school, they can help them at work, in relationships, in friendships, and throughout their entire life. So remember, a calm child is not created by demanding silence. A focused child is not created by demanding attention. A responsible child is not created by giving endless instructions. These qualities are developed through daily experiences, small routines, small responsibilities, small choices, and consistent guidance. If you found something useful in this video, please follow to our account. Your follow gives me motivation to continue creating more valuable videos about personal growth, parenting habits, mindset, and practical lessons for everyday life. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and remember, the habits we teach children today can become the strengths they carry throughout their lives.